Hello again and welcome to video 2 of the Micro Machine series. I'll basically be continuing on from the last video, playing 6 max 5NL. This time I'll be playing 4 tables and I'll be in seat number 3 on every table. Around 10 minutes ago I started this session, so it's pretty fresh. Under 100 hands all up so far. I've brought in the 2 new tables at the bottom, so they're well and truly just been brought in. And I did a nice had a nice hand here with Ace Jack. We had everyone limp, basically all 5 people limped, and I raised it to 35 cents more on the button with Ace Jack offsuit, and we flopped a Jack Eye flop and got someone to call us with Ace King high to the river. So yeah, the player that limped in actually had Ace King suited, and he let 5 other people basically have the chance to play junk against his hand and hit. For instance, if I have Ace Jack offsuit and the player that was first to act has Ace King suited, in which case he didn't raise my bet. He didn't 3-bet me pre-flop. If he was to raise to over $1, I wouldn't play. It's quite simple. So that's one big mistake that I find players do at these stakes. Number one being they underplay their big hands. They neglect the fact that people can hit with rubbish if they let them get odds to play. Here's a pretty standard call against someone who's just lost a big pot. We're always ahead usually here against this range with the 4s, so it's a pretty easy call for me to make there. If he hits, that happens. You can't really help that, but knowing you're ahead pre-flop when you put the money in is always a way to go. And we do take that one down. But yeah, it's pretty standard. That's how a lot of the time you'll make a lot of money. It's just simply the fact if someone takes a hit to their stack and they've got like 70 cents or $1 or 90 cents, it's normally going in as soon as they see a Broadway X sort of a hand. A lot of people have been commenting that I should move up limits. It's probably true that I could play 10NL or 25 or 50. However, I personally only feel comfortable here for now. I haven't played that long online, and I sort of want to get a lot of hands in each limit. I know it might sound a bit delayed, like the process of moving up could easily be achieved, but I find that personally, as a personal target, I just want to hit so many hands. I mean, I don't have goals. Like, I'm not going to set a goal of 50k hands in a month or something crazy, because things can happen. Like, if I need to go somewhere, then that cuts a day off, and then I have to reevaluate my goal. So I more or less just set a target of playing my A game, playing so many hands at a specific limit without a time frame. So I may still be here 3 months, 6 months, or I may not be here in a month. Just depends on how I go and how I personally feel as to when I should move up. King 9 under the gun is just always a fold for me in 6 max. Here's always a raise with King 10. A lot of people seem to think that a raise in the small blind's definitely definitely a bad idea. But if you're making it 3 times the big blind, the range that you're raising with is wide, there's no doubt about it, but the calling range of the big blind, you can easily get away from hands like King 10 if you know how to. Like, king high flops are definitely what you're after, but if you get raised, then you can easily just call fold or just fold the flop. And that's definitely a good flop. Like I say, in micro stakes, just bet. You're always c-betting, you're always continuation betting, basically everything. If you, like, here we go, we've got a raise when we have the nuts, so definitely a call here I like more than a raise. The player's making a play at it with ace jack, then it might be an idea to actually just raise this up. And I do prefer the min raise there than slightly bigger raise. But if he's bluffing, yeah, the turn really isn't going to help. But I think if he has ace jack, a lot of the time he'll re-raise. Queen jack, won't play that. Off-suited I'd probably give it a shot, but off-suit I'm not going to play. But you can see where betting, even with the nuts, is still very profitable in micro. I guess calling the raise from the bluff player that's bluffing, or it could be semi-bluffing, you know, he could have a hand like a small pocket pair or a very weak third pair. But more or less it's air that he's doing it with there, and you can see that he's throwing his chips around very lightly now after that hand. And there goes big pot to aces, and he's instant reloaded, so he might be you can see that he raised 15 cents in the, what was he in, the cutoff by look, with ace king suited. I'll just revisit that hand to see exactly how he played it. King jack is not a hand that I'm going to play to two limpers when isolating with that sort of a hand. Okay, so we'll see what the person did with the ace king, and we'll see what the person did with the aces. I think, yeah, it was a definite button with aces raised, and there was no 4-bet. Check bet shove. Okay. Have a straight draw 3-way. Probably not profitable to bet the queen high with two others. I'll just make a note of this player. So I do like to try and make notes when I can, and the player's left now, so we luckily get the note done. Otherwise I'd have to go and find his name again. So yeah, we can see that he's pretty light after a hand where he thinks, I guess it's more or less you got to predict or plan the hand. You've got to expect a raise, even if you think you have zero chance of them raising you. Just expect it, because that way, being surprised is emotionally ready, as opposed to being not emotionally ready, which can cause tilt, or it alters your A game. So yeah, fight called a 50-cent 3-bet pre-flop with ace king suited, and he would have shoved the 75 cent on, I think it was a 7 high board. Jack 10 out of position, 4-1. It's very likely this player will check. I can probably raise here to isolate the limper, who we know will probably call a lot of the time. Folding is also good, obviously. And that's what we get. So we can do it again. Ace-10 on the button's a very good hand against this player's limping range, as we can see, and he folds again. So I'll make a note that he's limped in middle position under the gun and folded to an out of position and a button raised pre-flop, which is good information. So we know his limping range is very, very, very weak. I mean,